He's the former president and publisher of the Sun Herald, and now he's on the radio. Welcome to Coast Vue with Ricky Mathews on SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast 103.1.
Good morning. I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to Coast Vue, the show that celebrates the men and women who are making coastal Mississippi a better place to live, work, and play. You may notice that my background's a little different. We had to make a few adjustments because we had some Wi-Fi issues. So I'm literally in my fishing closet as we speak. But I'm honored to have Ron Barnes, the president and CEO of Coast Electric Power Association, with me this morning on Coast Vue. Thanks for joining us, Ron.
Hey, Ricky, it's really a pleasure to be on Coast Vue with you, buddy. Good to see you.
It's good to see you, too. It's been a long time. So what's the last month been like for you and for your family?
Well, family's doing great. I've got children scattered got one in Los Angeles, one in Louisiana, one here, and one in Florida. But everyone's doing great. They're all pretty much doing the social distancing, staying at home. Luckily, most of them are able to work from home, so they're all doing fine. My wife and I are doing great here. We, since we're empty nesters, and really pretty recently, it's either one of those deals where it's make or break. You really love your spouse, or you realize this is not going to work out. So she and I really get along good, and I think we'll be fine in retirement when we finally get there.
Well, that's good. I mean, it's a test, but it's not the first time we've been here. And as you know, as we talk about on this show all the time, resiliency is in our DNA, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Having gone through Katrina, a lot of people draw parallels to what we're going through right now with what we went through after Katrina. It's different, but in a lot of ways, it's very similar as well.
So let's do this before we get started. I'm really interested in hearing the operational changes you've had to make and what your community outreach looks like. There's a lot to talk about in the two segments that we've got. But first of all, what is a cooperative? Tell me about Coast Electric, the cooperative, and then what is your service area?
Okay, as a cooperative, we are served by the members that we actually serve. We're owned by them. So we have approximately 83,000 accounts. That makes up about 75,000 individual meters. And a cooperative is one member, one vote. So whether you're the smallest user of power or the largest, you get an equal voting share in the cooperative. One of the greatest things about being a cooperative is that we're able to operate it not for profit, and any revenues that we make over expenses, we return to our members in the form of capital credits on an annual basis.
Well, so that's good. And by the way, I'm a Coast Electric customer and have been for an awful long time, right here on the North Shore of Back Bay, Biloxi.
That's right. Yeah, so you're a member of Coast Electric.
Exactly. So you've had to make operational changes in the organization. You're focused on also reducing or at least easing the financial burden on your members. And you're focused on why it's important for people to think energy efficiency today. So I want to make sure we cover each of those in detail. So let's start with, what are the operational changes that you've had to make to deal with the current situation?
And first of all, I failed to mention, we serve Harrison, Hancock, and Pearl River counties in South Mississippi. And we work pretty much contiguous with where Mississippi Power doesn't serve. So where they serve up to a line, we cross over and serve, and sometimes it's just right across the street. So we've had to make a few changes. First of all, I told my folks going into this, we really had to do two things. One is we've got to look out for the health and well-being of our employees. Secondly, we've got to take care of our members, because being an essential business, we've got to keep the lights on for folks, especially when they're now sheltered at home. It's even more important than ever. So we started out by rotating our member service reps in our call center. And we did that on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday basis. We also closed our lobbies, but all of our drive-throughs are still open. And of course, we're very digitally available to the world. So you can pretty much do any business with us, either in the office or over the web. We also have kiosks. You can pay your bill at Dollar General's. So there's a lot of ways to do business with us. But we have had our lobbies closed for a few weeks now. We'll continue that at least through April, and then we will take a look again at the beginning of May and see where we are with the curve of the virus. Our crews that work outside, they are on a week on, week off basis right now. So we're fortunate enough that we've got enough folks that we can send a crew home so that they can be sheltered from the virus, and then another crew will come in and work in their place. So it will affect our ability to quickly respond to new services and issues such as that. But as far as outages go, everyone is still on call. So we had a few outages over the weekend with the bad weather that came through, but nothing in terms of restoration more than normal.
So, just like after Katrina, you got people that are really concerned about the economic status of the coast right now.
Yes.
Obviously there are a lot of people worried about their livelihoods.
Yes.
So that's going to place a certain burden on you guys to have to figure out ways to reduce the financial burden for folks. So how are you doing that right now?
Well, we made a decision very early on that we would not do any disconnections of power for non-payment. And we've decided that we're going to carry that out again all the way at least through the end of April and possibly into May. The other thing we're going to do, Ricky, is we're going to have a plan in place for both business and residents that have lost their job or maybe they're furloughed because of COVID-19, so that we can be sure that we're not just going to go out there when we do start normal operations again and just turn their power off. So I think that being a community partner that we believe in this community. I think the worst thing we could do is go out and start turning people's power off because of something that was really not their fault.
Yeah.
So we're gonna work with our members in every way possible. We've got a little form we've put out on our website called a hardship form. We've asked members to go out there, coastepa.com, fill that form out if they're having a hardship. It's not a payment arrangement, but it does let us know where we need to start working with people immediately after, when again things get a little bit back to normal and we're able to go back to some kind of normal operations again.
So let's just repeat that. So if someone is having hardships, if they're having a difficult time right now because of employment or whatever the situation might be, where do they go to fill out that hardship form?
They can go to coastepa.com. They can call us at 877-769-2372.
Okay. Excellent.
And
bills.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's been a little bit of a misconception that we've heard from some members have called and said, well, our power is free. Well, no, it's not free. We're going to work with you in every way we can, but you still have to pay the bill. And what we don't want is for our members to get into a situation where they can't pay the bill because they've run up due to people being at home a lot. So there's a number of things that members can do. One thing is you can cook outdoors when the weather is nice. That'll save on some electric cost if you're all electric heating. We have a time of use rate program that we really highly recommend. Basically, it just means that if you can get off our peak right now from April through October, it's 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can reduce your peak hours, then you can really save a lot of money. In fact, our members save on average about 18% on their electric bill. And we've got about 25,000 that have voluntarily signed up for that.
Wow.
So yeah, we just want to, more than anything else, we want to remind people to be energy conscious during this time because eventually they will have to pay for the service that they've used, even though we're going to work with them in the short term.
So there's a lot of things that we could share with them about how to be energy efficient. So why don't we do this? I would like to actually run through that list. It's a basic reminder, but I think unless someone has used this, they're it's easy to forget some of the basics. Let's start that, and then we'll get into the break, and then we'll come back and finish the list. But start the list now.
All right. So reduce your heating and air makes up about half of your energy cost each month. So, you can avoid the urge to bump that temperature down a little bit cooler as the summer heats up. Programmable thermostats are also a great way to go. We recommend a temperature setting of 78 degrees in the summer. Your HVAC system is your.
Hey, so Ron, let's do this.
Okay.
Let's finish the list after the break. This is Ron Barnes, the president and CEO of Coast Electric. We'll be back after this break to continue our list of energy efficient thoughts and suggestions at this point in our juncture. Be back in just a second. List, and then we'll get into lineman appreciation. And there's so many heroes that are in these critical industries, and you guys are one of them, and we got an opportunity to shed a little bit of light on that. And then we'll just go right down the list. And we got 11 minutes and 30 seconds left.
All right.
Subscribe for free to the Coast Vue podcast on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Talking to the people that help make the coast such a unique place to live. This is Coast Vue with Ricky Mathews on SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast 103.1.
Welcome back to Coast Vue. We have Ron Barnes, the president and CEO of Coast Electric, joining us now. And when we went to break, we were starting a list of tips that you should keep in mind as you spend more time at home and you want to think about being energy efficient, getting your bills down as much as possible. So, Ron, why don't you just continue telling us and reminding us some of these basic elements that we should be practicing?
Absolutely, Ricky. In addition to HVAC systems, water heaters are one of the biggest energy users in the home. We always recommend to put a timer on. You can pick up a timer at any Home Depot, Lowe's type big box store. Those work great. Washing clothes in cold water to reduce energy use. We've already mentioned time of use and how that really motivates people to help us to save money, which we can pass along to them. Of course, in the milder spring weather, use your ceiling fan. I got my ceiling fan running on me here, but when I leave the room, I'm going to turn it off because it only cools your body. It doesn't cool the room any. I've already mentioned grilling outside when the weather is nice. My wife and I have done that a couple of times. Really enjoyed it out on the back. Regularly change your filters in your AC unit. That is one of the easiest, simplest, cheapest things you can do that really will help you save energy. And finally, just unplug to recharge. When you got a chance, especially when we're home during coronavirus stay-at-home orders, just get outside and get some fresh air and some exercise, and that means you'll be using less of the television, the coffee pot, the washer dryer, et cetera, et cetera.
So, what's our time of use rate?
So, time of use rate again is it's a price signal that we get from our power supplier, Cooperative Energy. And they say that if you can reduce your peak usage in the summertime, which is, again, April through October, from 3 p.m. 6 p.m., that's when we have the most demand for electricity, then we can give you a lower rate. Well, we turn around, we give that rate to our membership if they will sign up for that program, and we charge them a very low kilowatt hour rate for all hours other than those 3 hours of peak time. And then those 3 hours of peak time, we charge a really high peak charge. But again, members are saving about 18% off their electric bill. 25,000 voluntary signups for that program, which is really pretty remarkable.
Wow.
One of the best in the nation, in fact. So it's been very, very successful. The members that are on it swear by it.
Yeah, I think we're on it, actually. Good. So before we leave, just one last time, if you're experiencing a hardship, tell them what to do.
All right, so if you're experiencing a hardship, the easiest thing to do is go to www.coastepa.com, and there's a hardship form there under the COVID-19 resources. And there you can just fill out what your hardship is. We're going to note your account. It's not a payment arrangement, but it will help us after we go back to normal business operations and we'll be able to help work with you. It doesn't mean that you have to do it that way, Ricky, but it will help.
So we're in this moment of a lot of amazing people doing amazing work. Healthcare providers on the front lines. You think about, the grocery store workers. People who work for your association. They're out there making sure the lights stay on. And for hospitals, for all these critical services. So it also happens to be Lineman Appreciation Month. So talk about the essential workers that work for your company.
Thank you for mentioning that. We certainly believe that they're first responders. They're first out after a major storm. In fact, Ricky, we've actually got 3 sets of our crews that we're going to be sheltering at home in place this week that are actually going to just north of us. They're going to go to Pearl River Valley, Southern Pine Electric, and Dixie Electric to help them restore their power after the tornadoes. So we believe that these guys are the real heroes of our business. They work in the worst weather. They work in the hottest hot and the coldest cold. But anytime that there's a power outage or a problem, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, they're available. And so we're very proud to honor them during Lineman Appreciation Month in April. We're having to do it a little bit differently this year because we normally have a big day celebration with them, which we're not going to be able to do this time. But, and one other thing I would add is that a lot of times during Lineman Appreciation Month, they go out and collect canned goods for needy folks in our community, which I just think is amazing. We're trying to honor them, and they want to honor others.
That's amazing. Ron, your company is really focused on staying in touch and making sure we update people. And so what's your various strategies for making sure people are up to speed on what's happening?
Okay, we have emails for probably 80% of our membership. So we are sending out what we call an e-news, which is direct to their inbox with lots of details about COVID-19. Of course, we're very active in all social media platforms. Our call center is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. They can also, like I said before, they can go to Dollar General or CVS and pay their electric bill if they want to. We have kiosks. So there's just lots of ways that they can stay in touch. And all of our drive-thrus are still open as well at all 6 of our offices across the 3 counties.
So let's talk about any other items that are related to the COVID-19 situation that you want to talk about today.
Well, I would say, Ricky, that the only thing I would say on COVID-19 is that we really strongly recommend that people do what we've done, and that's take this very seriously. It's very serious when an electric company says we're going to send half of our employees at home, pay them so that they can stay safe. Because as I started this, I said that the 2 most important things for us, health and well-being of our employees, number 1, and providing the service that our membership has come to expect, number 2. And I think we've done a good job with both of those.
One of the big changes in the whole industry these days really has been how natural gas has really kind of taken over. That's really enabled you to stabilize your rate structure and all that, hasn't it?
It really has. Yeah, in fact, our rates, we just went down $6 for 1,000 kWh of usage starting April 1st. And a lot of it has to do with just very stable natural gas prices. And I say stable, they're low to stable. So we've been very blessed that we made a decision at our G&T level, that's our generating and transmitting cooperative, to go away from coal a couple of years back. And because of that, we now have more of our power that's being generated by natural gas, which means that we can pass those savings on to our membership as well.
So your headquarters is in Kiel, and you actually have a solar plant there.
We do, yeah. We have a 96 kW solar plant there. It goes directly back into the grid. And we, through our G&T, we have a 52 megawatt site that would provide power to about 15,000 homes. That one is in Lamar County. And then they're also building a new one in the Delta, which will also benefit from. That's 100 megawatt power. So about 30,000 homes you could power from that one.
Wow. Are you also getting ready for electric vehicles? Because clearly that's where the future is headed.
Yes, we are. In fact, we've put our first electric vehicle in our fleet, and we're building charging stations in every county so that we can help that range anxiety that people have. Because if you've ever driven an electric car, it is a hoot to drive, and they're coming. So as people, as more of the dealers, the manufacturers put more out there for folks to be able to purchase, I think you're going to see more and more electric vehicles out on the road, and of course, they're zero emission.
Wow, that's incredible. So let's kind of end where we started. We have a couple of minutes left. I want to just say that the work that Coast Electric's doing to help keep the lights on, we really appreciate that. And I know that you have been working in the trenches in the community for so many years. We served on so many boards together as we go back in time. I know about your personal commitment to the community. I know about Coast Electric's commitment to the community. What closing thoughts do you have as we start to wind this down?
Well, the one thing I would like to mention, and I really failed to before, is that we have a program called Roundup that we've put about $125,000 into Catholic social services to be able to help people pay their electric bills. And that's not only residents, but that's businesses as well. So that money is there. We encourage people to call Catholic Social Services. They do not discriminate. You do not have to be a Catholic to benefit from it. That's just the vehicle that we use for case management to work with folks and get that money out to them. So other than that, Ricky, I want to thank you for allowing me to be on Coast Vue. Tell the viewers and the listeners out there just to keep their chin up, because we're going to get through this. The coast is very resilient. As the governor always said, we hitch up our britches and we get it done. So we'll keep a positive attitude, and we're going to get through this soon enough.
You're right. We've been here before. We'll get out of this just like we've gotten out of every other adverse situation we face. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and I hear that from all the leaders that I'm talking to. So with that said, thank you, Ron. I appreciate you joining us today, and I hope you have a great day.
Ricky, always my pleasure, my friend.
Okay. So we have Lee Bond from Singing River Hospital System next. We'll see you after the break.
Follow SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast 103.1 on Twitter @SuperTalk MSGC.